There's no music. Hi, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We're very delighted to have you today with us. My name is Rowan Joom. I'm a previous software engineer and currently a lead instructor at ASAC Abdulaziz Al School of Advanced Computing. And today we are having a career coaching session for personal branding, optimizing online and offline presence. And for that, we have a very special speaker that would be my very good friend Ibtehal. Ibtehal is a senior talent acquisition professional with more than 10 years of experience in talent acquisition, employee relations, and consulting. And also, she is highly qualified with a wide variety of local and international experiences. Um, she's also currently based in Berlin. She's joining us from there. She's capable and confident communicator. So let's welcome Ibtehal with us. Ibtehal, please share your video and let's go ahead.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, hi.
So, is that working?
Yes, we can see you.
Perfect. Is that everything? Perfect. Great. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the great introduction. I hope that the session today will shed some light on how we can actually enhance our offline presence, how to strengthen our personal branding, and how actually basically how we can let's say, prepare to land the job that we are looking for. So basically for this session, I'll be sharing my screen just in like a couple of seconds. Just bear with me. So you can see my screen right now, correct?
Yes.
Yes, perfect, great. So the topic is, the main topic for today is mostly how we can help you prepare yourself to land the job that you are looking for. I am aware that many of you are coming from the technology background, and basically there are some challenges in landing your dream job. So we are here today to help. Our agenda would be more about personal branding, landing the job, and then we will have some time to answer your questions. So for the personal branding, it's a very, very actually broad topic. It's not something that we can just cover today and that's it. It's something that you should be having like an ongoing process. You should be revisiting that every now and then and actually refreshing that part as you apply for jobs. So let's start with the personal branding and let's see what are the key things that you should be working on to strengthen your personal branding. You should be, actually the first step that I usually encouraging people to do is discovering yourself. And then set a clear goals, short-term and long-term goals. And then the most important and crucial part of the personal branding is building a reliable network. So we'll be covering that part by part. Let's start off with discovering yourself. The self-discovery, actually, it's a very interesting journey that you have to do even before start applying for jobs. So basically, you should be getting to the basics. Just have a pen, paper, a piece of paper, and then start to outline what exactly are your motivations. So what keeps you like you doing what you are doing on every single day? What keeps you actually, just getting started with your day? You have to write this down. You have to keep yourself why you are doing that today and why you are actually let's say, pursuing that career or pursuing that opportunity. Definitely you have to have a motivation because the journey to find a career and the journey actually to survive a career, it's not just by having a motivation at the beginning of the journey. It's a very long journey and you have to keep your motivation that will fuel that journey. So you will not get bored about what you are doing or you will not limit yourself with the comfort zone. You have to find unique traits. And this is something I find the candidates usually struggling with. So think about it of how people, usually when people are approaching you, they're approaching you for what exactly? Maybe because you are a problem solver, or maybe you are a good negotiator, or maybe you have an eye for details. Just find that trait and try actually to strengthen that trait. So if you are a problem solver, for example, Usually you do have a logical thinking or a consequence that you follow in order to, break down that problem and have a solution for it. For example, you can just make sure that you have that in mind when you are writing your skills as well. This is very important because usually people tend to have traits that they don't have and a story that they don't have actually. And this is sometimes misleading because many of the employers are looking for specific traits, not to add to their teams, maybe because they do lack that in their team. So this is your chance and your opportunity to showcase that trait. A strength, and usually we do always speak about our strengths, but we would like you to think about it in a different way. So think about it about what has already shaped your story. So what has actually made you stronger in that particular part of your life? Or what has actually made you maybe showcase in a different domain or in a different skill? There is something that has shaped that story, and you have to be aware of your strength once you have you want to apply for any role. You have to know that my strengths are actually in line with that job, and I can actually, by having good learning experience, I can maybe manage to survive that role or show or excel in that role as well. The challenges and weaknesses, and this is something that many candidates sometimes shy away, meaning that you don't have this honest talk with yourself about your challenges or weaknesses, or we are afraid that if you are talking about our weaknesses or our challenges, the employer would exclude us from the recruitment process. This is not true. You have to be able to discuss or at least be aware of these challenges and weaknesses, because you need to seek assistance and guidance to make sure that you are overcoming these challenges and weaknesses. So make sure that you have actually address them to yourself before even kicking off the whole journey of landing or applying for a job. The second part of the personal branding is setting goals. And this is very important. We cannot just emphasize on that enough. Step out of your comfort zone. And this is happening all the time during the life cycle of, or during the lifetime of that role. So basically, for example, you start off as a software engineer, you get exposed to some kind of programming languages. Maybe that programming language at that time was needed, but the technology is actually moving really fast. It's a very fast-paced environment. So you have to keep yourself updated with what is happening there, and you have to step out of your comfort zone. Have a vision of where you are heading to and what you need to be there. And this is something that I know that it's obvious, but many of the candidates, they do just rush and they don't have a clear vision of where are actually they are heading to, or what exactly they need out from that job, for example. Okay, so how do you see that job aligned with your career aspiration? Is it actually giving you the tool to hit your target, or it's just like something that you are adding to your CV or your profile? So you have to think about that. Have a realistic timelines and expectations. And again, landing a job or searching for an opportunity, it's not an easy journey to go through. You have to set realistic timelines. It's not just like you are applying today and you are having an interview next day. You have to be patient. You have to understand how you are applying the job and what time actually it might take. Sometimes, the interview cycling or the recruitment process does vary actually from one employer to another, especially that the stakeholders that involved with the recruitment process, they are different. So if the business is involved in that recruitment process, think about it. It might take maybe 3 up to 4 weeks time, just to go through the first, let's say, 2 steps. And after that, you have to take rest. And this is something, again, maybe emphasizing on stepping out of your comfort zone. But yeah, always try to say yes for the risks. Even if there are downsides for that risk, make sure that the change is always beneficial for you as a person and even on a professional level. And the key action here that I want you to have in your mind, to keep learning and seek feedback. Ask for feedback. Don't just shy away from that. Ask for feedback from your colleagues, from your friends, from your mentors, from your leaders, from anyone that you trust their point of view, and you know that they can add value to you. The third part is very, very, very important. And as many of you are aware that there are many meetups and conferences that are going here and there. So you have to use that to build a reliable network. You have actually to show up to some of these conferences and meetups in your area. Let's say that maybe, especially for now during the Corona situations, many of the leaders in different industries are offering webinars for free. So keep an eye active out there on different networks or platforms. See who can actually provide you with such meetups and conferences. This is a great medium for you to first meet the decision makers of that technology, of that industry. Second, actually to speak to professionals from the same domain, and even actually strengthen your network on who to go to when you have a problem in that area, or what help you can actually ask from their side to give you. Maybe they can give you some assistance to strengthen one of the skills that you do have. Get enrolled in mentorship programs and seek advice. And this is a very, very good tool for you to understand or to get a guidance in a way that is customized for you. Many actually professionals do have that mentorship programs actually for them to mentor like 1 or 2 students or 3 students upon their capacity, and they just guide them through from the time they are actually studying up to the time they do land the job. And this is very important. Again, this is more of a customized process at this stage. Enhancing your online presence and on social platform. This is something that we will tackling in a bit. Connect with the professionals from the same domain or those who can add value to you as a person. So basically use LinkedIn, use it heavily, but not actually by having a random approach. Just sit with yourself, who are the top professionals in your network, and try to get and connect with them. So build that network. Again, as I have said, many professionals that are actually really helpful and supportive. They would like to guide others throughout some like informative webinars and informative sessions. Make sure at even actually adding the decision makers of different companies. Try to have a network of talent acquisition managers or recruiters in that network. For example, the recruiters are at Delivery Hero, for example, or today at Talabat, Google, Microsoft. Try actually to have this network ready, because once they have any position that might be aligned with your profile, your qualifications, and your skills, you can approach them easily after you apply by just, I came across this role, and I find myself actually of alignment. If you can just take a look at my profile, I'll be like grateful for that. Or I actually just drop them a couple of lines on LinkedIn just to make sure that they have read your profile. Off to the next one, how to land a tech job. And this is particularly something in particular actually that is somewhat relevant to all of you. So how we can prepare for the whole journey. What do you need to do before actually kicking off the whole process? You have to focus on your behavioral skills as much as you do for your technical skills. Many candidates neglect that part, meaning that they will be trying to strengthen the technical part of their profile and actually not giving that much a concern or that much importance to the other part, which is behavioral skills. When you look at the recruitment process, we do have something that is more of a culture fitness, or more of how this candidate will be able to deal with other team members. So these things should be taken into consideration. So try to attend different courses that might give you or shed some light on that part. Make sure that you have an active listening, for example, course to attend, or time management, or let's say how to be an active team member within teams. So you have to make sure that these are some things or areas that you are covering while searching for a job. Before applying for a job, you should know the company and the industry. I know that sounds very obvious, but again, we actually, day-to-day communications with the candidates, we just see candidates who are randomly applying for different kind of jobs, for different companies, and even sometimes they do forget what companies they have applied to. Make sure that you track them down and make sure that you have a motivation why you are actually applying for that company in particular. So for example, if you are now applying for X company, you have to have you have to have a look at their story. So what is happening, how they have made it throughout the different years, what they are applying or what they are providing to their employees. Is that an environment that you would like to be a part of? Is that a team that you would be, do you picture yourself being among? Think about that and think about the motivation even before applying, because this is the way that you can narrow down the number of companies that you are applying to. Read about them on Glassdoor, read about them in different platforms where candidates are able to show and provide their feedback on that company. So make sure that you are prepared even before applying for that job, and see actually if that job is aligned with your profile. Is it aligned with your qualifications and skills? Is it something that they're in that job profile that you might learn? And you might have actually some areas that you have to strengthen. I understand that, or some area that you do lack at this stage. But think about it as a learning experience. If they do provide learning experience, this is something that you should be considering as well. Enhance your online and offline presence. This is the second time that I'm actually emphasizing on that, because this is a very, very important topic that we'll be giving, that I'll be giving you more insights on as we move. And keep refreshing your skills. This is something that is really important. You have to every now and then try to see what things that you have put in that profile or that resume, and make sure that they are up to date. Because maybe, for example, at the beginning of your career, you have started with X language, programming languages, but you have actually worked on that just for 1 year. And maybe you don't have any knowledge or that strong experience, let's say, to apply for the next or the future job opportunity. Try just to take it off your profile. Just make sure that you are honest with what things that you have on your profile. And one thing that is really important that you need to do is keep yourself updated with the new trends in the industry. And this is something that will give the employer a hint that you are eager to learn, or that you are actually just stepping out of your comfort zone. It's not something that you have just learned during a course or during, let's say, your study at the college, or however you have learned that. But just think about the bigger picture. You know, the box that you can have access to, articles that are written, even if it's like 2 to 3 minutes read, the articles are really useful. Try to follow them on different platforms. On LinkedIn, you can actually specify hashtags that you can follow. So for example, you can follow a hashtag and a UI or UX or software engineering, and see what are the topics that are tackled under that hashtag. Keep yourself updated with what is going there in the industry. How to optimize your offline and online presence. This is a topic that is tackled every now and then. And we have to make sure that, you know, there's nothing that is pass or fail on how you are writing your profile, or how you are not actually abiding by the guidelines, or something that is like failing that guideline. It's more about how you are telling your story. So think about it, something that actually that you want that story to be direct to the point, to be actually outlining the things that you want to outline, and avoiding too much wordings and too much information. So let's start with the first things first. So mind the profile picture, and this is something that's really important. If you are putting a profile picture, and I know that's obvious again, but believe me, I am in a domain where I can see many profiles on LinkedIn or even offline through resumes. They do have different pictures that they are not actually, it's not about how do you look, it's more about how you are promoting yourself. So pictures with filters, or pictures with shisha or with drinks, or they are actually not the right place to put in LinkedIn. This is something that you should be avoiding. I know that this is really funny, but believe me, I saw these profile pictures. This is something that you should not be doing on offline and online platforms. And again, if you are going to include one, it's really okay to not actually include any pictures. But in case you are or you are including one, just make sure that is aligned with the guidelines of that platform. Include a summary and career objective. Again, it is obvious, but many of us are missing the point of that summary or that career objective. The summary is something, it should be actually telling a bio about you. So biography of how you are, who you are as a person. So you are a professional who's actually having experience in X domain, or can apply different expertise to that business, or a career objective that is really, really strong. Like, don't think about how the company will be helping you, think about how you can help the company as well. So try to make a career objective that is aligned with your vision of yourself. So if you are looking for the next couple of years to learn more about one kind of technology, or strengthen your career in that area, you should be able to state that in your career objective. Don't just copy paste 2 lines that they are meaningless. Make them actually customized and make them yours. This is your story, and this is what you are telling others. Many of the candidates might use that, for example, if they are making a career switch. So they have been working in technology for the last 10 years, and the next couple of years, they would like to be in the human resources domain, and they are actually taking courses in that, or they are pursuing different opportunities in that. They can mention that in their career objective as well. So this is a really important part of your profile. So make sure that it is aligned with the vision that you have put, and the career goals that you have put in mind. Proofread the content, use Grammarly, or simply just put it in a Word document. So basically, Grammarly is a very trustworthy platform that you can just put or add as an extension on your browser, and then it's just plug and play. It will be just giving you the options right away. You don't have to just worry about that, or you have to put the content and Word document. Many browsers, they do provide that part where they do check your spelling, if it's right or not. So you can just activate that in your browser as well. But just make sure that you do have the right content. Yes, again, this is something obvious, but still we are facing that. Many of the candidates are just to ignore the right information. Your name with a small letter is a no-no. So we do understand that our names should be starting with a capital letter, for example, family name with a capital letter. So just make sure that you are just proofreading the content before even publishing that for the offline and the online platforms. And you have to just make sure that you are utilizing everything in the online platforms. For example, LinkedIn, they do have an option where you can add sections to your profile. One of these sections are the links. So you can maybe add a link for your GitHub or link for your Behance or any other portfolios that you are using to showcase the projects that you have worked on or anything that you have maybe published. There is a section for your publication. There is a section where you can put your projects, what projects that you have worked on, even though if it's something that you have, maybe if you are still new in your career, maybe something that you have worked in during the university stage, college stage, you can still add these projects to your profile. It's really beneficial for you that the employer is having the chance to see that through your profile. So make sure that you are using the fields that are aligned with your, again, with your career and with your qualifications and your skills as well. Infuse the right words in your profile. And this is again about the online platforms. The online platforms, they do act as instance searching engines. It means that sometimes the recruiter will just type in keywords and just looking about the profiles that they have the same keywords and look at them. So make sure if you want, for example, if you want a career in software engineering using Scala, just make sure that Scala is everywhere in your profile where it is actually aligned. So basically, or where it is within the context, but make sure that you are infusing the right words in your profile. And by that, actually, I would like to just, draw your attention on the things that they are obvious, but you need to avoid. Be a person who you are not. This is something completely wrong. So many candidates trying to oversell themselves, and they are telling a story that they are not, that is not theirs. And this is something that definitely will not distinguish your profile and would exclude your profile from the recruitment process. Make sure that you are honest with what you have put in there in your profiles, whether it's an online profile or whether if it's an offline profile as well. No clear motivation or career objective. And many of the candidates, sometimes they do fail that part in the interview session. Many times the recruiters might be asking about the motivation for you, that, what has attracted you in that job role, or what has attracted you to join X company, for example, or to be a part of that company, a part of that team. You have to have these conversations with yourself even before applying for the job. I have already stated that. I'm stating this again. Please make sure that you have a good preparation before the interview. Read about the company. We actually just keep reminding yourself why you are applying to that company and why you are applying to that role in particular. Again, do not list skills you don't have. This is not impressive. Actually, this is very misleading, and sometimes this misleading will definitely lead to an exclusion from the recruitment, even from the very beginning stage. So at the first interview stage, things will be clear for the recruiter and they will exclude you directly from the recruitment process. Do not overdo your profile or CV. Too much wording, too much information might not lead to a good promotion to your profile. Make sure that usually you don't copy and paste duties and responsibilities. Don't copy and paste that information. Just make sure that you are showcasing what you have what impact you had on that business. For example, if there is a project that was really crucial for the company and you took a part in that project, just speak about your contribution. So as a software engineer, as a recruiter, I do know what you are supposed to do as a software engineer, but I need you to show me what you have accomplished in that role. It's not like, mentioning your accomplishments. It's more of knowing your contribution throughout the projects that you have taken apart. And so make sure that you have a good reflection on your impact. And in case you don't have actually clear job description in your current role, just always make sure that you know what are your day-to-day tasks, how your day looks like, the usual day, how does it look like. So sometimes you will have, the breakdown of your day will start with reading emails and maybe getting to see the high priority tickets, or assigning these tickets, or looking at the tickets that they are assigned to you and try to solve them for your stakeholders. So different things that they are going through a day-to-day of your lives. Just make sure that you have a good reflection of that in your profile and in your current roles. Just don't copy and paste these duties and responsibilities. And by that, actually, I have reached the end of my session. So I'll stop sharing my screen right now and off to Rawan, actually. So Rawan, you are here still, right?
Yeah, thank you, Ibtehal. That was really interesting and really useful. You have really mentioned some really important and strong points. And as you mentioned, like maybe some points were obvious, but again, you are like the recruiter, you see so many CVs and applicants. And these mistakes, like we might think they're simple, but they are really important to recruiters. So before we move to our question and answers from our audience, I would like to actually ask you myself a question. You know, if you can advise us on that. Students sometimes when they, let's say, approach recruiters, when they apply for a position, they actually like, they are not really aware of what to write in the email. Maybe sometimes they leave it as a blank. So can you please advise us on this part?
Perfect. I'm still actually, encouraging everyone to apply through the website itself or through the platforms. Just in case they got the email for X person in that company, they should be first trying to align the subject with what they are actually sending. If they are sending a profile, like 2 words in the subject, my updated resume / your name / the position that you are looking for, and then a body actually that is addressed to that person. So dear X, hope you are well. Attach you can find my updated resume that is aligned with this job role. But definitely I'm not with sending emails that they are random and they are empty and meaningless, because those are going to the trash box.
Yeah, that does not look good. Yeah, it does not look good. Okay, good. And another question that I have also is, I know like you mentioned to not overdo the CV, right? And that's really important. So I just would like you to tell me, like, again, because you are the professional, like, how long is a good CV to you? You know, like maybe, I don't know, like, I don't want like the ideal CV, but is it okay for me, let's say, to have 5 pages or like 1 page?
Again, there is no fail and pass in that area. Just that it's not full of wording. So again, if I'm just copy-pasting the duties and responsibilities, definitely this will lengthen or prolong the whole profile. Just make sure that your profile is direct to the point. For example, throughout my experience, I got to receive different profiles from consultants that they have 20 and 30 years of experience, and they have just one profile, one pager of the whole thing that is really organized and direct to the point. And it was like amazing because they do have 20 years of experience. And if they will still telling me the story of what they have done throughout these years of experience, it would be an essay to read. It would be like more than 10, 15 pages. So be smart of what you want the employer to know. So things that they are sometimes considered as like just, extras, I would say, leave things like this to be discussed in the same interview. Just make sure that you are direct to the point. And believe me, again, your story is unique because it is yours. It's not the story of any other actually candidate. So don't compare your story with others. Don't like just say that, my profile doesn't look good as that person, or, just your profile. Make sure that you are polishing your story the way you want.
Yeah, that's really a good point. Yeah, that's like a really good advice. And like even do not compare with the other people's CV. You have your own accomplishments, and he has or she has her own. Okay, cool. I guess for now we can start with the questions that we have from our audience. First, let me check. First, we have one question from Muhammad Ghafri. He's asking you which behavioral skills fields we should focus on.
Again, as I have said, that there are many courses that shed light some on again active listening, how to be a team player, things like time management, things like even the learning skills. They are actually important. How you are getting the best out of challenges, how you are dealing with challenges as stress, especially that. The technology roles usually tend to be very demanding. They are changing all the time, and you have to be flexible. So you need to understand how this flexibility is applying on you as a person as well. So many things that you can look at.
Nice, yeah. So you're advising us to actually like go online and maybe look for some skills and some tutorials, maybe that can benefit us.
Exactly. As I have said, flexibility, time management, project management, even actually the do's and don'ts. It's actually courses on LinkedIn gives you the do's and don'ts in project management, and it's really easy. It's not something that is complicated as in the PMI. They just break it down in a way that is very useful.
Interesting. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have another question from Abdullah Abed. He's asking us what skills that will actually make me unique from the other applicants. Like he's asking how to stand out.
Okay, this is not the right question to ask, because you are not comparing yourself to other candidates, because you don't know what other candidates look like. Again, they have applied, you don't know how they are actually, if they are good or not. So you focus on your story, you focus on your own skills. You don't know how the others are doing. Maybe definitely if I'm actually taking this approach, comparing myself to others, I will not stand out by any means, because I'll keep just overthinking and overwriting and keep just putting data in my profile. So just keep it simple. Focus on the things that you are good at.
Yeah, nice. Okay, another question from Dana Abadi. She's asking, that's a good question. She's asking like how to answer what is your greatest weakness on interviews.
Okay. Let me just tell you, this is a very outdated question. I am not a candidate of that question, but let me tell you.
But it's still used, actually.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, let me just break it down into 2 points. The first point is don't shy away from your weakness. As I have said, you have to address that weakness. It's fine. You know what? I do have a problem with my time management. However, I'm reading or I'm enrolled in that course. I'm actually working on that. Second thing is point out the learnings of that weakness. So basically, yes, I have faced some problems in for example, meeting deadlines. However, I managed in the last project to meet the deadline because I have actually learned how to prioritize my tasks or how to prioritize my tickets. So make sure that you don't shy away from that question. I know it sounds like, maybe be excluded. Don't think about that, because the idea of that question is to learn how you are dealing with your challenges and weaknesses as a person. So don't shy away from that part.
Good. Okay. Another anonymous question we have is that we have a student telling us like, I used to be in a different major and I followed all of these steps, but I did not get even an interview for 8 months. What should I do? Or I just give up and say there's much opportunities in the field?
Again, this is not the right mindset that you would like to be in. Let me tell you, I had actually have accountants working as software engineers, and they were excelling actually in what they are doing. It is not about, just, I know that the frustration will get into you in one way or another. Just make sure that you are patient. This is the first thing. Second thing, try to match that in your summary, or as I have said in your career objective, make sure that you tell them that you are taking the switch. Actually, I have been enrolled in the accounting major. However, after my graduation, I have found that this is not the right major that I should be enrolled in, and doesn't match my aspiration. So I switched to software engineering. This is what I have covered in the last, for example, a couple of years. So make sure that the employer hear your story. It's not easy, I understand, but believe me, many top companies, they don't look at where you were as much as what you are trying to accomplish, and if your profile is matching their needs in one way or another. So just be patient. I know that the journey is not easy. You might have applied to like 200 and 300 applications, and you might not get any responses, but at 201, maybe you would have your interview done. You'll never know.
Nice. So like we should care about the way we're thinking and our mindset, and always like have a positive attitude.
Exactly, and just make sure that your story is there, so you don't have a gap. So as for me as a recruiter, if I'm going through your profile and to see that you majored in finance, and now you are now working in and you are now looking for a software engineering job, and I can see the match here, I cannot just tell that you are a good person to at least consider for the first interview. So I need to hear your story.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, nice. Another question, always also anonymous. It's as a fresh graduates, how can we make our LinkedIn profile look powerful and promising?
Perfect.
Like they have nothing to add.
Yes, this is a very, very great question. So I have mentioned in my session there are things that you can add in your profile on LinkedIn. So they do have something that you can add to your profile. One of these is your link. You can add links. As I have said, you can add links for your GitHub or your Behance, I think, as well, or any portfolio that you are using. This is the first thing. Second thing, there is a profile section that is allocated for the projects. So in that part, I would advise you to go there and set the project that you have worked during the university. So what was the project? What is your contribution? What was your contribution in that project? What technical tools that you have used? And how actually you as a team member has actually impacted the work of that project. So it's easy, you can just mention that, because I understand that many of you as students have been working in different projects throughout the university. Just showcase them in that area.
Yeah, nice. Okay, another question also, does having a special talent or interest affect the hiring process?
It's not clear. So what talent they are?
I guess the question is about, there's a section and some CV templates. When you go to a CV maker website, sometimes they have this section for adding a talent. So sometimes like we don't know what to add as a talent, right?
If a talent is something that is not job related, that's fine. And if it is job related, just make sure that it's aligned with what you need. So again, because I don't understand the question, I will assume that they maybe asked for something that is not job related talent. Don't actually be afraid. So if you are playing music, or you like playing a theater, or whatever you are doing that is not related to the job, just mention that. This is something that is even more powerful, because it will be, just giving hints about your personality, that you are an outgoing person, or if you actually, you would like to be in a competitive, for example, environment, because people who play football or basketball usually tend to, achieve more in a competitive, for example, environment. But again, I don't understand the question, but this is based on my assumption.
Yeah, I'll check about it. This is from Ahmed Mahasne. I'm going to check about him later on. Okay. Another question is anonymous. Is asking, do you recommend sending a thank you email after an interview? Like I'm the applicant, and after I'm done with the interview, should I send you a thank you? You are the recruiter.
This is something you can or you cannot do. It's fine. It's really up to you. But actually, it is really nice. I find it really nice, sure, actually, that you send an email after you are done with the interview. It's really nice. But again, it doesn't. It should not be, favoring your applicant over others. But it's out of courtesy you are doing that, and this is really nice.
Okay, nice. But it's not going to help me in getting the actual job.
Exactly, because you have to have a fair perspective for all the candidates.
Okay, thank you. Another one, we have like so many questions actually. Another one, Ibtehal, is from Amir Majdi. He's asking you, do you recommend working in an environment that is not very, let's say, it's not very maybe friendly or suitable to improve your technical and soft skills, regardless of that environment, just to get the experience? Like basically, it's like a bad environment for myself, or I don't like it. And yet I need to get my technical and soft skills.
No, actually, if you are not in a good mindset, you will not produce. Believe me, it's if you are just forcing yourself to produce while this environment is not as comfortable as you want it to be, the experience that you are getting, because your mind will be thinking about things, other things. I would rather that you start with a small startups that they do have friendly environment and get that experience over actually working with a well-established company that they are forcing some kind of toxic environment. You will not achieve anything in that environment.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Yes, you're right. You should be like comfortable. Okay, another question. What is the best answer for the question, like how much your salary's expectations?
This is a very good question. This is your right. Again, I know that many of us might not be actually comfortable answering that question, because they will see it that it's like filtering out their application at the early stage. But this is your right. Yeah, every one of us, they are having their own financial responsibilities and a lifestyle that you have in their mind, and the job should be providing this to you. So I would say be smart, give a range that you are flexible with. So start with something that is the least that you can accept for that role, up to the thing that is like a bit way more than that you need, and just say that is negotiable. You are the one who can assess these financial responsibilities. So just make sure that this job is providing to you for you, as well as giving you the right experience and the right learning experience again, and the right environment and the right atmosphere. Just make sure that you don't just be afraid of setting your expectations.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, another one is like asking you, because you mentioned about this spelling stuff. He's asking, is it worth to get the premium package in Grammarly? That's a funny one.
Okay, this is a very tricky question, because to be very honest, I don't know actually if that would be giving you the right push for your profile at this stage, because I don't know where you are at your profile right now. So, for example, for me, I do have more than 15,000 connections. So at this stage, I might go to the premium if I want more courses, and that's why I'm going to the premium. For you, if you are using that to build a network, it might be useful to use it like for a couple of months and stop if you are sending in mails, because they do have different options. So my advice to you would be just learn where you are right now in that profile, early stages, advanced stages, and based on that, decide if you would like to have really a premium account or not. But
Okay.
the sections that I have, but just to clarify, the sections that I have explained, they are free for everyone. So
yeah, you're mentioning the premium package of LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah. So okay, that's good. And what about Grammarly? If they should, the Grammarly,
the
corrector.
Grammarly is free, and actually you can just add it as an extension. I use it for Chrome, and it works perfectly. You don't have actually. I don't know what the other packages in the Grammarly provide, but the one that I use, it's very convenient.
Yeah, I think there's another one that you can upgrade, but I think
but
the free one can do.
Yes, can do it. Yes.
Okay, nice.
And it gives actually even options to rewrite that phrase in a nice way. So yeah.
Okay, so we can just use it.
Yes, and I usually use it if it is like essays that you have to write, or articles. It's really important, but the day-to-day you don't have to use it actually, writing emails or whatever it is. If you want, actually, this is what I do. But yeah, you can use it.
Nice. Okay, but the free one can do for now, right? For us. Okay.
Yes.
Another question from Ahmed Sheila. He's asking, should we add photos of our certificates and the CV when we apply?
No, actually, they should not be the only thing that the recruiter should be looking at. So again, they will not give a push as long as you have them listed. There is no need to send the photo of them. However, they might be needed in the later stages once you, for example, reach the final stage where they are asking you for, a proof for that, or if you reach the hiring process and they need to apply for whatever thing that is needed for the onboarding. No, as long as you have listed them, there's no need to send them over.
Yeah, so once requested, we can provide them.
Exactly. As long as you have listed them, there's no need to add them.
Okay, yeah, noted. So what about, there's another question, anonymous. He's asking, how do we answer, where do you see yourself after like 3 years or 5 years?
Oh my God, this is a horrible question. But if it's still asked by the recruiters, okay, the smartest way to answer that, again, I have said that your career objective might vary from 1 year to another. So don't be afraid to revisit the career objective and change that every once in a while. So this actually will give you a right insight how to answer that question. So basically, you have set already a vision for you where to see yourself heading to. So if you are, where you want to be as a person, so you have to answer the thing that is based on your story. So if I'm a software engineer at this stage, so in 3 years, what is the next stage for a software engineer, junior software engineer? It's be a senior software engineer, or at least start to be in a way where you can maybe start coaching the other software engineers in the team. So have it as realistic as you can do at this stage, because again, this is something that is based on your story. So where you are heading to, and then you can classify where you see yourself in like that period of time. But this is a question that is outdated already.
Yeah, it's outdated, but maybe sometimes like it's still used, I don't know, but yeah, it is definitely outdated. Another anonymous question I have, I think we have a few minutes. As an interviewer, since you are the recruiter, usually, what do you expect the candidate to answer when you just say, tell me about yourself? Like, is there something that you would like to know?
It's not a pass or fail. Again, when and I should be specifying actually my questions. I will not say, tell me about yourself. Maybe I can just through that throughout the session itself. But to tell me about yourself, again, this is a very broad question. So you can put your story maybe in a scenario where you know, you can speak about your upbringing, what you are doing right now, where you are heading to. These are the three components that you can put in tell me more about yourself. But there's no pass and fail. Again, this is your own thing that you are telling. This is your own story. So no pass and fail in that question.
Yeah, you can just like.
And I think
yourself.
From my assumption that maybe recruiters tend to ask that question just to assess your spoken skills in that language. So maybe this hunt. So make sure that your spoken language is you know, aligned with what they are looking for. You are not a native speaker of that language, so don't shy away. Don't be afraid. Just make sure that you convey the right messages.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, you're right. Okay, so there's a question. I'm gonna rephrase it. It's asking about the motivation. Like, how can I motivate myself? Like, wake up in the morning and be motivated, and be able to search for a work. You know, because you know, when you try so much, you get frustrated, probably.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to break it down in a simple way, but for me, for example, I just put things that they are easy to achieve in that day. For example, for me, I would say, yes, I have to go through work, and then I have to do my workout, and then wow, I have achieved a lot in that day, and I would be looking for so much for that day. For example, some days I'm actually into helping other people. So basically, I will wake up and try as much as I can, maybe to help my team members today to achieve their abiding by the deadline or meeting the deadline of their projects. Giving back is something that is very motivating. Once you help others, you will find a way to help you throughout that day. But just make sure that it is not related to something that you cannot achieve in that day. So, you know, I'll be just, you know, having an interview that day. Maybe you will not find an interview, but you can apply for at least 5 jobs today. And they need them for this company and this company and that company. Have something that is really, really simple for you to achieve that on that day, and make it on a personal level and life level more than job related if you want.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so another question from Marah. She's saying, if I have an experience in my previous major before switching to software development, should I mention it in my profile?
This is a good question. This really depends on you, because the other job experiences might you know, tell us a story how you maybe how you have how you have acted among teams, about your teamwork, about working with crucial projects. If it's in that type of outlining, that would be great. So just let us know what impact you had in that area. You should not be, again, listing maybe duties and responsibilities in that aspect, but more of what you have done. What was your contribution? This is a good story to tell, because this is you as a person, what you have achieved. But yeah, it's really good. It give good insights.
Okay, nice. Another question from Salih Al-Masri. He's saying, what is the best answer for this question? You know, it's a question in the interview, I think he means. If you got a new offer from, for example, Google, will you leave our company? I don't know if it's asked, but maybe.
This is a very strange question, but usually you should not be actually stating out if you are leaving or not. But if I were in your shoes, I would state why I would like to be a part of your company. So as I have said, as a part of your preparation, you should know the story of that company and have motivation why you are you know, being a part of their teams and why you are applying for that job. So you will have a story to stick to. So if they are asking about Google and about any other big company, just be honest that you would consider it if it was more valuable to you as a person. So list out or outline why you have already applied to that job, and if the opportunity is not providing that to you, then yes, you will consider Google. So play it smart, I would say.
Yeah,
Make it on
that's a tricky one. Yeah,
make it on them, not on you.
Yes, that's a good way. Yes. Okay, so there are some questions that I think you already covered. Again, like some questions about how to make the CV stand out. How can I make my CV without experiences? I think you already covered with other questions. I think that's like what we have so far. I'm not going to repeat them. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, great. So if anyone has any question, please feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. I will try as much as I can to reply you in person. Again, I'm just maybe sharing my experience, what to do versus what not to do, but always the internet is full of information. You can just get what information you are looking for. I hope that it was useful and I hope it was something that you have learned from. And as I have said, just please feel free to add me to your network and I'll be more than happy to assist if I can.
Thank you, Ibtehal. That was really great. We really learned so many things. We really appreciate it. This is one of the most useful career coaching that we have ever got because it's by a professional like yourself. So again, thank you so much for your time and for taking the efforts into putting all of this and answering our questions. Thank you so much. And guys,
the pleasure was mine.
Thanks. Guys, feel free to add Ibtehal Hussein on LinkedIn, and she will be able to answer you and, of course, accept your invitations as much as possible. Thanks a lot, Ibtehal.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for attending. We'll see you later on. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.